Hello and welcome to Balmaha, Loch Lomond in Scotland. This is a new episode of the Experience Scotland's Wild podcast. I'm Jordan, your host for today. And today we have a very special episode because we are celebrating 10 years of traveling through Scotland and leading incredible tours. My guest today is none other than John Stevenson, the founder of the company. And we're going to delve into the beginnings, the humble beginnings of Scotland's Wild, the growth of the company, the future, but you're also going to get some glimpses into John's expertise, his favourite places, hidden gems in Scotland, and tips and tricks that you can use on your next Scotland vacation. So let's go meet him now. Come on. Hello, John.
Jordan, my man, how you doing? You all right?
Mate? Great to see you.
How things?
Yeah, doing well. Enjoying Loch Lomond on a beautiful day like this.
Oh, can you beat it? What a day you
really can't. You really can't. So I believe congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
10 years of this.
How awesome is that?
Oh, it's amazing.
I actually didn't think we'd get 1 year. But 10 years is awesome.
It's great to be a part of it.
Oh, brilliant.
So I'm going to ask you a bit more about that, the start of the company, the growth, the future, and maybe some of your preferences around Scotland.
Oh, wonderful.
That sound good?
Sounds great.
Right?
Sounds great.
Well, so we'll go for a little walk around Loch Lomond, and I think we'll end up in the historic village of Luss.
Sounds wonderful.
Ideal.
Excellent.
Let's go.
Fantastic, let's go.
Right, John, so tell me about your time before starting Scotland's Wild.
Before starting Scotland's Wild, I was actually a park ranger right here in Loch Lomond National Park. I was here for 7 years and it was a fantastic job. I loved it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it really prepared me for starting the business, being a tour guide. It gave me the confidence to present in front of people. It gave me the knowledge to, for the landscape, for the wildlife, even a little bit of the history. So it was actually a very good job in preparing me for my next chapter, which was Experience Scotland's Wild and starting the business.
Aye, sounds like a good transition, really.
Honestly, it was a wonderful transition. The job was amazing. The job, it's got to be one of the best jobs in the world, being a park ranger, and especially at Loch Lomond. We plug for the national park there. It really was spectacular. I got to work in this every single day, work in this amazing landscape, work with great people, and it was a very natural transition because when I started the business, the very first tour was a national park tour specifically for here.
Right.
So it was a great introduction to being a tour guide and having all that knowledge to start this tour, and that was really that one tour which I did every single day, 361 metres high up that Conic Hill every single day for a good year, 2 years. I got all that knowledge from working with the national park, so it was a great introduction and a great transition into being a tour guide.
That sounds like it. For those people just listening to this, we're just currently walking along a beach at Balmaha, looking over Loch Lomond. And really we have a stunning day for this.
What a day for it. Is that not fantastic?
It's beautiful. We don't always get things like this, but...
No. This is our 10th take. We've tried this 10 days in a row and this is the first day we've done it nice.
So if you are listening, I recommend go check out the YouTube video because the visuals are truly spectacular. It's really going to make you want to come and visit Scotland.
Oh, 100%. That's the thing about Scotland. Scotland's got all that visual beauty. It's got that history as well, it's got that culture, it's got the wildlife, the landscape, it really has got everything. The national park, this Loch Lomond here, it really represents Scotland really well.
Yeah. So what is it a park ranger actually does?
A park ranger? It's a very varied job. Say on a Monday you could be out enforcing bylaws, you could be out, talking to people on Loch Lomond who are maybe speeding or cutting down trees or whatever it may be. On a Tuesday you might be out with a school group, doing some education. On a Wednesday you could be building bird boxes. On a Thursday you could be in a completely different part of the national park, maybe fixing a path. So it's very, very varied. So it's a wonderful job it was.
Was that what made you want to then start this company?
No, the reason I started this company actually, so I always had it in my head from a very young age that I wanted to start a business. That was it. Obviously I don't like following people's rules or
working for someone else,
all of that. So I always wanted to start a business. What that business was very vague. It really just had to be outdoors, that was it. I wanted to start a business and it had to be outdoors. And then I went travelling when I was like 24, 25, so only a couple of years ago obviously. And when I went travelling, I seen a tour company over in Australia. They were called Peter Pan's. And Peter Pan's, they just did things differently from what I'd ever seen, you know, the tourists do here in Scotland. They were actually getting out and enjoying the land. You know, it wasn't what I call a whistle stop tour. They weren't just going to a stop, getting a picture and moving on. I seen these guys just having a great time, visiting all these amazing places. And I thought, you know what, I want to replicate that in Scotland. So I never even went on one of their tours. I just seen them. You know, you see them everywhere as you're travelling about, and I just thought they look fantastic. I was too skint. I didn't have enough money to go on their tours. So I thought when I get back to Scotland one day, I think that would be a great idea to start. So you know, when I decided now's the time to start a business, I just went for it and thought I'd become a tour guide and start a tour company.
Yeah, kind of works out perfectly with your interests as well.
Exactly. You know, it lines up beautifully with, you know, what all my interests are, and especially Scotland. Scotland's probably one of my main interests.
Yeah. So when you say whistle stop tours, what do you mean? What
I mean by that is, you know, there's a lot of tour companies out there all over the world, but a lot of tours, what they do, like I say, a whistle stop, it is you're going to a beautiful stop, you get out, you get a picture, you tick that box, you move on, you get out, you take a picture, tick that box and move on. And I really wanted to provide something a little bit different for people. I wanted to provide, you know, more of an experience, as in the experience Scotland's Wild. It's, you know, get out and actually experience the country, you know, visit all these amazing places, get out of the vehicle for more than just, you know, a 5-minute picture, you know, get out and actually enjoy the land, you know, whether that's, you know, exploring a castle or going for a beautiful walk and seeing some waterfalls. It was really about giving that experience rather than, you know, just a whistle stop tour. Yeah,
and it's in the name, isn't it?
Exactly.
Experience Scotland's Wild. And I suppose those whistle stop tours are generally kind of big, massive.
Exactly. So they're all, like, you know, mainly big coaches. You know, you're talking 40, 50, 60 people, which I thought, you know what, that's fine if that's what you want. You know, if that's what you're after. Again, I thought it'd be a better idea to make them smaller, more personable. You know, you get more time with the tour guide. You get to actually interact and, you know, learn about the tour guide. He can teach you all about the country. He can learn about you, or she can learn about you. And so, you know, as you know, we keep it nice and small. You know, 8 people maximum currently, and that really just allows people, in my opinion, just to get a much better experience rather than, you know, getting herded onto a big coach like cattle and then, you know, herded off.
I feel like you have that personal element then.
Yes.
You and the guide. 100%. I mean, there's only 8 people, 8 passengers, and you have the guide there. You've got a chance for connection.
Exactly. That's it.
Tours are kind of, you know, when you go abroad, that's what it's about, right? You want to connect with the people you come with.
You want to enjoy it, don't you? Exactly. You want to meet all these new people. It's exciting. You know, I always thought, one of the things when I started the business from a kind of selfish personal point of view is, I thought the best part would be out exploring the land and going to all these great new places and seeing, you know, visiting Glencoe. You can never get sick of Glencoe. You can never get sick of Loch Lomond. And I always thought that's what I'm going to love most about it. Very, very quickly, I realised that, you know, the landscape just makes up part of it. The history just makes up a little part of it. The biggest part and the most enjoyable part to me is the people you meet. You know, it's the people you meet when you're on tours. It's the experiences you have with these people as well. You know, they become your best friend for a day or a week or however long that tour lasts. They become your best friend, and you know, it's so much better than just kind of, you know, going out yourself and seeing it yourself. And, you know, it's all about the people and all about the connections you make, in my opinion.
No, that's awesome. That's what makes it incredible tours.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that's why it's been able to go for 10 years now.
Exactly. It's how it's went for 10 years, you know, it's crazy that it's going for 10 years, and, you know, there's another 100 years in the horizon. You know, it's, when I first started the business, I had no intention of, I had no thought of, you know, in 10 years time I want to have this big team and I want to be doing, you know, thousands of people all over the country. When I first started it really was just about, you know, I'm going to get a van, I'm going to start doing these tours, and, you know, I actually thought there'd be a lot of camping and, you know, things like that involved as well. But the business kind of was taken in a direction by the clients. You know, it wasn't what I wanted to give the clients, it was about what the clients wanted, and that's what I quickly realised. I learned what the clients wanted and I was able to provide that for them, and, you know, it's went from strength to strength to strength, and now we're doing thousands and thousands of people a year, and, you know, it's crazy to actually think that when I first started, when I done that first tour one day up in Connacht Hill around National Park, that 10 years later, you know, we'd be doing thousands of people a year, and, you know, our team's growing and growing and growing. So it's amazing. Impressive. It's amazing to think about.
Can you tell me a little bit about those early days?
Yes.
You know, was it just yourself?
It was. You know, the early days were interesting. The early days, The business actually started when I took a wee loan from the bank, right? And it was £50,000, a lot of money. And I bought a vehicle and we actually get conned, like properly conned. We bought this vehicle that was supposed to, I thought, this is a beautiful van, it's going to last us for years.
Yeah.
Had 90,000 miles on the clock, I was loving it, this is great. I actually had 350,000 miles on the clock.
Oh God.
That was the very early days of the company, and it almost ended straight away because we had to fix this, and I didn't have any money to fix this.
God, what a way to start.
Exactly. Well, so we managed to eventually get it fixed, but at that point, the business nearly never started at that point. So I'm very happy that I persevered. I'm very happy that I continued on and actually started the tours, because at that point when I realised we've actually conned, we can't get our money back, I thought, oh no, what is going to happen here? And I nearly just sold it in a loss and stayed in the national park. Exactly.
I'm really glad you didn't.
I'm very happy I didn't as well.
And all the people that work for a company now, I'm sure they're glad that you you persevered. So that's it's incredible. And I want to talk about more like the growth that's happened over the next over the last years, especially the last few years. I know have been quite substantial, and in the future as well. But I want to take a little break and just ask you a little personal question about Scotland travel.
Sure.
Let's start with, what is your all-time favourite place in Scotland and view?
That's a great question, Jordan. Right, okay. My all-time favourite place, it changes all the time.
Because you've seen a lot, I imagine.
It changes so much.
Yeah.
Right? I used to always say, hands down, my favourite view was looking out over Loch Lomond from the east. Now, it's still definitely up there, and it probably will be in a few months' time my favourite view again.
Yeah.
Then it switched from there to Glencoe, up in the Three Sisters. You're surrounded by all these mountains. You just feel minuscule there, and it's stunning. I would say currently, all the landscape up from Ullapool, up that northwestern part of Scotland, every corner you turn up there blows my mind. It really does blow my mind.
A little less visited as well.
So much less visitors. Even up there on a busy day, it's still very quiet. You're not going to pass many people or many cars.
Yep.
So I would say a lot of the landscape up that way has got to be up there with my favourites. And then, do you know what? Even also another wee bonus one, I would say all the coastal scenery on Harris as well.
Oh yeah,
and Outer Hebrides.
gorgeous.
Oh my God,
rugged.
It's stunning. It's stunning. But you ask me that tomorrow. The same question tomorrow, I'll probably get another 5 answers as well. So it changes all the time.
Yeah.
So what was the second part of that question?
Well, I mean, place. So that's views, right?
Place, views, yeah.
And they kind of go hand in hand, I suppose. But where's like a special place to you in Scotland, maybe? I know you grew up around here, actually.
Here, yeah. Do you know what I would say? The most special place to me is Loch Lomond. 100% Loch Lomond, in fact. Scotland is stunning. As anywhere you go in the country, it's absolutely gorgeous. Stunning place. But I wasn't born. I was raised here, raised in the national park. Most of the jobs I've had in my life prior to starting the business were in this national park. I worked for the Loch Lomond Golf Club, I worked for Loch Lomond the Trossachs National Park, I worked for restaurants in the southern banks of Loch Lomond. I grew up out on Loch Lomond itself, fishing on a boat. I'd go up every summer for weeks and weeks at end.
You know it well.
And spend a lot of time here. So I'd say 100% my special place in Scotland is Loch Lomond.
Right.
100%.
Okay, well, it's good that we're doing this interview here, right?
Exactly.
So we're going to move on to our next location, but because you know this place so well, do you have anywhere that we could see around here?
See, just a few minutes walk, there's a stunning little hill here, Craigie Fort. I think we should go and get some views up there.
All right.
Sound nice?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent, let's do it then.
Let's see it. We're almost there.
We are.
That was quite a hike.
That was tougher than I remember.
We actually had to stop and catch our breath for a second. We'll maybe show you the route, but I did want to ask you then, I've been here before, I know what it's like, and whoever's watching on YouTube is going to see this very soon, but it must be an absolute joy to be able to bring people here and show them views like this.
See, when you see people's faces when they come up here and see a view like this for the first time, and their face just lights up, it really brings everything into perspective, and it really allows you as a person to not just take it for granted, and to really appreciate what everyone else is getting to see as well, and appreciate how beautiful it is. So I absolutely love seeing people's reactions when they see places like this. Do you want to go and see the view?
I do. I really do. Oh, wow.
Jordan, this is the Highlands this is the Highland boundary fault line we're on right now. I don't know if you want to pan round this direction. you've got the lowlands here. You know, you can see it's kind of more or less flat, and then straight back this direction, you have got the highlands.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Oh yeah, well you can definitely see the difference between the landscapes.
What a contrast.
So what's your favourite? The highlands or the lowlands?
Do you know, people will hate me for saying it if they live in the lowlands. Lowlands are gorgeous, a lot of beautiful places in the lowlands, but how can you beat that?
It's just
You know, you've got all those mountains and all that different landscape, different topography.
yeah.
There's just so much to it. I love it. I do love the lowlands though as well. I love it.
All of Scotland's beautiful.
Oh, Scotland.
Some bits are a bit more beautiful than others, but
Exactly.
well, let's come up here maybe and we can have a wee chat with a lovely background.
Oh, what a view.
So we were talking about the kind of beginnings of Scotland's Wild, Experience Scotland's Wild. What about the growth like that you've seen? So we've got 10 years here. You started off doing your own tours by yourself.
That's right.
When did that transition? When did you have to hire someone on?
Do you know what I think? So I started doing the tours myself, and then it must have been 2018 we took on one other tour guide.
2018.
2018.
Okay.
And then we kept it one other tour guide plus some freelance tour guides. So I'd bring in some, you know, tour guide buddies to help out,
right.
And you know, when we get a little bit busier. And 2019 was just a wonderful year, and that was the first time I ever thought, do you know what, the demand is there and we're providing such a great product, we're providing such a great service, people are loving what we're giving. Maybe we could try and do a wee something with that and maybe try and grow the business and make an actual company. I think that was the first time I ever thought we could make a company out of it.
Right.
And it was more than just maybe me and one other guy or one other person. So you know, the plan was then, you know, let's maybe take a next wee step and get a few extra of our own vehicles and hire our own tour guides.
So you started getting some traction.
Exactly.
Right.
And obviously we all know what happened, COVID hit. And then from there, you know, we had 2 years of where we had one client, literally one client.
Wow.
One client in 2 years.
Devastating.
And I thought, are we going to keep doing this? Is this going to be viable in the future? But it was, you know, it really was. The following year, which I believe was 2022, is when we started to think, yeah, let's just go for this. Let's make an actual business out of this. Let's see how much business we can bring in that year. And we brought in a substantial amount compared to what we'd ever had before. I think that year was actually busier than probably all of our other years combined. And then the next year, that's when you joined the team as well. You know, the third employee of Experience Scotland's Wild. And then from there, we've just went from strength to strength. And but with the growth, though, we've tried to keep it natural. Like, we have tried to do just natural growth, you know. We don't want to explode and just, you know, go and buy 100 vehicles, exactly, buy 100 vehicles, you know, hire a couple of hundred tour guides, and we want to have them, you know, bring in the right people at the right time, you know, and grow with the demand rather than just, you know, exploding and making it completely unmanageable. Because
that's what's going to make it a real long-term business, isn't it? The
Exactly.
right people,
it's
the
providing
right
that service, you know,
the quality. I think, you know, you've done yourself justice there.
I think so. I think we're doing well. You know, even this year we've kind of doubled in size from last year.
Wow.
And we are still looking like we're continuously hiring more and training more new tour guides, hiring more people in the office and training them up. Your team eventually will probably have, you know, more than just yourself and Kirstine as well. So it's all going in the right direction. And, you know, as long as we can still provide that right quality, then I am happy for the business to grow. You know, last year I thought at one point we were maybe just not going to be able to provide the same type of quality if we took on as much business as the demand was dictating. So we actually stopped taking on business at one point so that we could keep providing the quality, and that's the way I'd want it. You know, I'd rather us not get the business in and provide good quality and good service and make sure that the clients who are visiting us are having a spectacular time, rather than just taking on all this business that, you know, I'd be like, can we provide the service? So, yeah, the growth has been good over the last 3 years.
It's exciting.
Very natural, very exciting. And, you know, I think, you know, Experience Scotland's Wild, we're just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah.
Well, I agree. I'm there with you, mate. And I was wondering, so you're saying, you know, bringing in new guides that are right fit. What does that mean? Like, what makes a great guide?
That's a great question, right? So what makes a great guide, in my opinion, right, is when we're looking to bring on new tour guides, the first thing I'm looking for is personality. Same with any position, in fact. The first thing I look for is personality. Is this person a good fit for our company? Do they have the same ethos? You know, are they just a nice, positive person? You know, are they willing to learn? Do they have a good work ethic? You know, are they people persons? You know, are they genuinely interested in, you know, the quality of service somebody's going to be provided? If so, then, you know, you can join our team. Everything else you can learn. You know, all the information, which, you know, and there's a lot of it, all that information you can learn. You know, if it's, you know, historical information, landscape information, driving routes, everything can be learned. If you've got the right attitude, then you can learn it. So it's all about, to me, the biggest thing is personality. And do you have the right personality?
Right. Cool. So when a guide's out on tour, what makes Scotland's Wild Guides special, extra special, different?
I think it is the personality.
It is all the personality.
To me, it really is. You
Yeah.
know, they've got the information. You know, so we bring them in. We train them up in the information. You know, we don't just bring them in and send them out. Tour guides, you know, they come in and they go through a big training process. You know, they're usually with us a good month before 4 or 5 weeks really before we actually start having them out with our own clients. So we have a really good training program, and then, you know, all I say to the tour guides is, I really just think to be a good tour guide, just be the best version of yourself. You know, try and just be the best version of you. Don't try and be like me, don't try and be like you, don't try and be like this other tour guide or that tour guide.
Yeah.
Just be you, embrace you, be confident in who you are. And I think, you know, everybody's got their own cool and unique stories and their own history and their own life. And just you be the best version of you, and you're going to do great as a tour guide.
For
you
sure.
really are. As long as you've learned that knowledge as well.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, whoever follows us on social media and that, they've probably seen a bit of the various different types of personalities that we have from our guides, which
so
is it's so different.
We have got some, you know, I genuinely believe this, and I really do believe it when I say it. I think we have got the best team in the country. I honestly do. I think we have got the best tour guides. I think overall our whole team is the best. I think, you know, everybody's got such a great attitude, and honestly, I love it. Honestly, when I see our team on a daily basis, it just fills me with so much pride. It really does.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, me too. And I think the reviews, they speak for themselves as well. You know, many hundreds of 5-star reviews for all of our guides. It's impressive.
Honestly, they're doing great, because that's a big part of it. You know, that's what gets us a lot of business, is the reviews.
Yeah.
And you know, the team goes above and beyond. They really do. You know, they on a daily basis, when they're, you know, because they might turn up to work one day and, you know, they might not have had the best sleep, or they might be tired, you know, whatever situation's going on in the background. But when they turn up, you know, it's a chance for the tour guide to, you know, escape from that as well, and really just go out and have a great day. So yeah, and when they do that, that's when the 5-star reviews come in, and you know, that's when the good marketing comes in for us as well, and it really does help us.
Yeah, it sells itself. Yeah, leaves me with little to do. You know, it really, like, when the quality is there, and you hear it, you see it in the reviews when people, like, life-changing trips that they've had in Scotland. Exactly. Like, some of the things people say, the emotion in there, it's touching to read about.
So
and see.
There was one this morning. I read a review this morning for one of our new tour guides. It was Mark, and they were raving about him. You know, he's only been with us, he's done his training program, he's been with us for a couple of months now, and it was a wonderful 5-star review, just talking about how he's went you know, over and above, and how he has provided their best day on their whole Scotland trip. Now, see, when you hear things like that, that is spectacular to hear.
You know, you've got the right man for
you
the
know,
job.
you've got the right people in place. You know, because that's a big part of it. You know, see, when we were growing as well, like, my biggest mental hurdle for me was trusting people. You know, when I started the business, it's like, okay, I'm getting 5-star reviews, I'm doing well, the feedback's great. And even though there's many people out there who are much better than you, you're like, okay, this is my baby. Can somebody else provide that same service as what I'm providing? We bring these people on, these tour guides on, and they do a much better job. They're wonderful. You know, so that was the hardest part, was getting trust. And then once I learned to give trust, and, you know, trust that people could do a better job than me, you know, that was my biggest challenge to overcome, and it's been one of the best things for the business, is actually me trusting people and letting you, for example, as well, when you came onto the team, was trusting you to go out and kind of do things as you like,
represent the company,
and, you know, do a good job. And you know, very quickly I learned that I can trust people, and, you know, people can do a much better job than me.
Nice. Well, you need it, right?
You do.
For the sky to be the limit,
Exactly.
and, for this thing to grow, and it certainly has. But we'll talk about the future, where we're at now in the future, when we get to the historical village of Luss.
Lovely.
And I think we'll head there now. But I've got one last question for you here.
For it.
So a lot of people that follow this and will be watching this, they're planning a trip to Scotland.
Yep.
They want to make the most out of it.
Uh-huh.
What are some top things they need to do, see, eat, experience?
Okay, do, see, eat, experience.
It's a lot. It's a lot there.
It's a lot there. Do, you must go to scotlandswild.com, book a tour. That is the first thing you should do. And then come on to our tours. That's what you should do. What you should eat, you must try black pudding. Absolutely delicious. You must try haggis. I prefer haggis bonbons over the traditional style, but that's controversial. You must try iron brew, and you've got to drink whiskey. That's the 4 things you have to eat and drink. Experience, you have to get out into the countryside. You know, we are in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, if not the most beautiful country in the world. We have so much beautiful landscape. You've got to get out. You've got to get out and actually just experience the actual country. Now, whatever that looks like, that could be going for walks, that could be canoeing, that could be, that could be just chilling by the side of a loch, reading a book if that's your type of thing. But whatever you enjoy doing, Scotland really has it. So I get out and experience it. That's what I'd say.
Nice.
And visit Loch Lomond, Glencoe, Isle of Skye, Loch Ness, Orkney Islands, Lewis and Harris, and loads of other places.
The list is endless, isn't it?
The list is endless.
Right. Well, I think we're done here. Let's go back in time.
Brilliant. Let's do it. Off to Luss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Right. So we're here in the historical village of Luss, which I believe is quite a stop on a number of our tours that we do, isn't it?
It is actually. So we stop here quite a lot actually. A lot of our tours, as they travel north up into the Highlands, stop here, and for good reason. It's stunning, it's historical. We know there's been a village in this exact spot in this area for the last 1500 years. There's a Viking grave, goes all the way back to the 1260. There is just a lot here. These houses, a lot of the houses that are still here in this area date back to the 17 and 1800s, so there's a lot of history here. Loch Lomond is behind the camera. It is a wonderful first stop.
Great place for a dip.
Oh.
You remember that?
I do. The first video we did together, that was cold.
That was
February.
Should we go down this way
Go
then?
ahead, yeah.
Go see the church? Right, so the future of the company. I want to know, what's your vision for Scotland's Wild in the coming years?
The vision, so it's a good question. The vision for the company, the vision short term is we are hoping to start getting our own properties. Because obviously we travel around all over Scotland. We have all these wonderful tours, we'll go and spend 3, 4, 5 nights, 7 nights now as well this year. Plus we have all the private tours which could be any length. And one of our challenges is property. It's getting the right accommodation in the right location. So we're going to start getting properties, get our own properties in these locations so that we've got, nice bed and breakfasts all around the country. So that is, in the foreseeable future. We are obviously going to continue to produce more tours. So we're going to start, we've got this year we introduced a 7-day tour. We have got some nice 5-day tours that you can book on as part of a group. And then for next year, we're aiming to have 10-day, 12-day, 14-day trips as well that clients can book on, as an individual, as a family, and mingle with other clients. So, produce many more great products, take people to many more wonderful locations all around the country. So continue growing and growing and growing. And then eventually what we'd like to do is we will start branching out into different countries. Obviously Ireland's
Wild.
Ireland's Wild.
England's Wild.
Yeah, Ireland's Wild, England's Wild. Names to be decided. But all over Britain, we'll start doing tours, group tours all around.
In the same
Britain.
kind of intimate, like
exactly.
eight passenger, maybe a bit more, but that
same style. Yeah, exact same style. So we obviously have got a good product here. What we're doing is we're providing that great service. We know it works, and Britain, we could so many wonderful places all around the rest of the British Isles and Ireland. And then eventually branching out as well into Italy, other countries all around Europe, and eventually all over the world.
Worldwide.
We have got a wonderful product, so let's see how far we can take this.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Absolutely.
That is the plan. So I would say the possibilities are endless. we're just going to keep getting bigger. We're going to keep providing this wonderful service to all these great people. And do you know, if I'm being honest, I don't really know where it will end. We'll just see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, exactly.
And you mentioned those new tours that have come out. Can you tell us a little bit about like what's like an exciting tour that's recently come out that you think?
So one tour that we have just released for this year is the 7-day. It's a 7-day Outer Hebrides Skye trip. So you're going to the Isle of Skye for 2 days or 2 nights. Excuse me. You're going to the Outer Hebrides, Lewis and Harris for 2 nights. Then
Beautiful.
You're going over, getting the boat across. You're going to Inverness for 2 nights. And to me, if you've only got a week in Scotland, you really can't do much better than that. Like, you really are. You're hitting so many of the most beautiful places, so many of the the biggest highlights, the best castles, the best waterfalls, the best scenic landscapes, all in that 7 days. And it's one of our experienced Scotland tour guides that's going to be taking you around, giving you and helping you have a wonderful time. So to me, that one is very exciting, and the uptake's been great. We've hardly got any spaces left for that tour this year. We're running it at least once a month throughout the whole kind of May to October period, and it's just took off. It's a wonderful tour. And next year we're planning and doing even bigger tours that encompass all these places as well,
like
and even more.
10-day tour
yes,
for the 10 years of Scotland's Wild. 10
years of experience Scotland's Wild. So what we're going to do for 2026 is we're going to release a 10-day tour, and we'll probably at the moment maybe have that run once a month. And again, you book your space on that tour, you'll come with fellow travellers, or you'll meet fellow travellers, and you will get to see all these amazing places all around the country. So, and we're also touching upon that. What we're going to do for the release of that is we will give away 2 free spaces. So we will do a giveaway of some sort, and it'll be 2 free spaces, including activities, including accommodation.
Wow, 10 days.
Worth thousands of pounds for 10 days, travelling all around the most wonderful places in the country with an awesome experienced Scotland's Wild tour guide. Right, so
you can see a lot in 10 days.
10 days, free for 2 people. Jordan will organise the competition.
So I think that will be round about the actual official kind of date of the 10 years, which
I think so,
in
yes.
June.
In June the 7th. Yep, so we'll probably release it that day.
Awesome, that's exciting. And there'll be more details coming about that. But for now, we're running a 10% off for the 10 years of Scotland's Wild across all bookable tours.
We are, yep. So for the 10-year anniversary as well, so every single bookable tour that we have got that you can go onto the website and book, you've got 10% off, which the code is, you know the code because you set it up?
I believe it's WILD10, but we'll put that all in the description so you'll be able to head there and see.
Yeah, pal.
You'll be able to see all the different various tours that we have available, and all the new ones. So like there's a day tour to Outlander locations.
There's an Outlander day tour that we've just started this year, which is proving very popular. We've got Alnwick Castle and Roslyn Chapel, again proving very popular.
Really filming locations.
Yep. We have got the new 5-day tour as well, which is pretty cool. I know I mentioned that one. So again, that's Oban, Isle of Skye, over 5 days. So we have got lots of good new tours this year. So again, it's a case of just checking out the website and seeing what we've got on sale.
What's your favourite? What's your favourite tour?
That's a good question. If I had to pick one tour right now, I would go for the 7-day Outer Hebrides, because it takes me to, one of my favourite places is the Outer Hebrides, Lewis and Harris. Every time I go there, I think I could live here.
It's not so visited as well, is it?
It's not. It's pretty quiet.
It's very remote.
It's so remote.
It's that feeling of solitude that you get in a lot of places.
You're a 2-hour ferry from, no matter where you go, you're over 2 hours on a ferry to get there.
Yeah.
It's only got about 22,000 people on the kind of main islands, so it's very, very quiet. Even when it gets busy, it's quiet. Plus you're visiting the Isle of Skye, so you get all the main highlights from there as well, and a lot of the main highlights from the mainland. So I would say, out of all the group tours that we're running just now, that's probably the one I'd want to go on.
Aye. Isle of Skye, Outer Hebrides, tons of the mainland, I guess.
Oh, so many great places there.
What's some iconic spots like Elandon Castle's on there, isn't it? Kilmartin Glen that you've talked about, and the
that's 5-day. That's a 5-day.
That's not on the 7-day.
Not on the 7-day, but 7-day. You've got we've got Glencoe, we've got here Loch Lomond, we have got Glenfinnan, we've got the Isle of Skye and all the main locations there. We have got the Isle of Harris and Lewis. We've got in my opinion, one of the most amazing historical sites in the whole country, Callanish standing stones.
Oh, they're cool.
So, you know,
They're
5,000-year-old standing stones, all on one tour. Plus then you've got Culloden, you've got Inverness, you've got the Cairngorms National Park. Honestly, like, the list is just endless.
It's an epic tour.
When we've created it, we've
tour.
really thought, how can we really give people the biggest bang for their buck and actually get them out and enjoying it, and again, not having that whistle stop tour, actually getting time to enjoy places. So I would say, definitely that's the favourite, and it visits so many great places.
Yeah, it's like an all-rounder, isn't it?
It really is.
7 days
For
to
7
really-
days, you're not going to get much better than that in the country.
Nice. And that's actually brings me to something else that you can, a free resource that we have is we have a Scotland map where you can see all of these itineraries and tours. So whether you want to travel with us or you just need some ideas for your next trip, you can go on scotlandswild.com/Scotland map, and that's all available to you for free, for nothing. And there's some great ideas there. So I think we'll go out on this pier, have one last look at Loch Lomond, and
This beauty.
aye, stop short of singing happy birthday. Let's go take a look. Okay. Wow, I feel like we've seen so many different sides of Loch Lomond today on our walk. It's just stunning from every angle, isn't it?
Do you know, it's got to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. It really has. Look at it. It's just, no matter where you see it from.
God, I'd love to be out on those paddle boards. Maybe after this we can hop on for a little.
We can jump into the beach again and go for a swim.
Oh yeah.
Sound good?
Oh yeah. Listen, even on a hot day, it's going to be absolutely Baltic in there, I'm sure. But it's been an absolute pleasure being able to take some time and to chat about the company with you.
Oh no, thank you.
Thank you,
It's been great.
mate. Thank you for starting Scotland's Wild. Without it, I wouldn't have a job. So that's a big bonus for me. And I love hearing about the history and how things have gone. And yeah, absolute pleasure.
No, thank you. This has been great. It's been good to share what experience Scotland's Wild is, how it started. I've loved every minute as well, so thank you.
It's always nice to get out of the office as well,
fantastic.
right? Back out into Scotland's Wild.
Back to the keyboard after this, actually.
Right, well first let's get ourselves a wee coffee and a cake. How about that?
Perfect.
How about a birthday cake?
Oh, I love it.
We'll celebrate.
Brilliant.
Right. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Scotlandswild.com. Go and book.